Hello and welcome to the demo vid for laminating your plywood into your board. This will be your first time in the workshop, so you've got to make sure that you've got your enclosed leather shoes on, and we're also going to be using the goggles. Make sure your hair's tied up and no loose jewellery, so no dangly earrings or necklaces or watches or anything like that. We don't want any of those today because they can get messy or broken. We just don't want that. So we're going to start today. So we already have the plywood boards cut out for you. So we have the long ones for the longboard shape, we have the medium ones for the fishy shape, and the smaller ones for the double deck trick board. So I'm going to be making a miniature version for you today, just so it's easier for you all to see on the screen. So the first step is that we're going to take the templates. Now the ones that we've made for you guys are much bigger, they're made out of plastic, and you're just going to be able to pass those along to each other. So we're going to take your template and we're just going to trace around. Alright, so we've got our shape on our board and we're just going to set this one aside, okay? Because our next stage is gluing, and this is going to be the top. So we don't want to put glue on this on both sides, okay? So because we are gluing, we're going to be putting down some newspaper, okay? These are lovely, lovely tops of these benches, and we don't want to get them dirty, so we're putting newspaper down. And then we are also going to be gluing. So we'll grab our glue and we're going to grab an ice cream lid and the brushes as well, the paint brushes. So we're just going to pour just enough glue. You can always add more glue, you can't put more glue back in the bottle, okay? Remember that. So we're going to go for our bottom of our 5 plywood boards. We're going to get our bottom one, so we're only painting one side of our bottom one, yeah? So we're going to get our glue all over our brush nice and thick, and we're just going to go along and paint all over. Don't go over the edges too much, there's no need to. And you don't need to put too much glue because you're going to be put 2 glued sides together. You won't need double the glue because you're going to be doing that by themselves. Alright, so we can set this bottom one off to the side over here while you get your next one. So coat up in glue again. Now you can share your ice cream lids with each other. You can be all painting in one nice little table group if you'd like. And now here is where we definitely need the newspaper, because we're going to flip these over onto the newspaper. Might need a bit more glue. And we're going to paint the other side, because these are our middle pieces, yeah? So we've got 2 sides that only need one side done, and then the 3 in the middle need both of their sides done in order to glue. Okay, so it's going to be quite sticky, so you're going to peel off that one. You might, if you think that there's not enough glue on there, you can give it a bit of a touch up in the air, but it's going to be a lot bigger for you, so it might be a bit more awkward to do that. So just place that one on top of your first base one and move on to your next piece. Okay, so once you've got all those painted and you've put your top piece on, you've glued all that together, we're going to move on to the vacuum bag. So we're going to put these to the side. We're going to rinse them out later, but somebody's probably going to use them behind you. So we'll move to a different table for the vacuuming. It's just for the example I'm going to do here. So in the vacuum bag, we're going to put in our foam mold. We're going to place our project on top of it, and we're also going to put this fruit net over the top of our thing, so that it's not putting any spiky edges into the vacuum bag, because it's really important that we don't pierce these and they don't get damaged, okay? So we're going to open up the seal and pop these in. You might need a buddy to help hold it out for you. So we're going to put this, our project is going to go right over where this vacuum seal pump thing is, so just make sure that it's in place like that. And then the second most important part actually the most important part, is that we're gonna reseal this up really tightly, okay? So you're gonna mash your hand all over this line, really carefully, making sure that there's no bubbles or gaps, all the way along. If there's a gap, just really try to push hard. And then we're going to use our pump. So we're going to put our pump on top of here, and we're just going to start pumping. So you're going to know that it's almost there when all of the edges start to come in on the sides, and it's going to become harder to pump. You can also see the glue is leaking out a little bit from inside. Let me give you a close-up. So you can see that the glue is seeping out the edges. That's okay, and it hasn't moved that much. For you guys, it doesn't matter if it moves that much because you're going to be cutting off the edges anyway. So we're all sealed up, and we're going to leave these for the weekend. So another note to do is if you've got the longboard, you'll be getting one that curves, the one that curves more like this for those edges. If you have the double deck, that's what this one's for. It's got the flat part here and then the curved edges gradually for those side kick flips. And the fishy board, we've got that, it's flat, and then it's got an angle on it like that, so that the skateboard will kind of look like that without the flop at the front.